Hi everyone, Keith Arkenberg Farms. Today I want to discuss how we plant all of our onions, our fertility, how we prep everything out, and generally the process. You gotta remember, variety really depends on your region, so that's something you really have to figure out on your own. But I just want to talk about a few things we do to have successful onions planted on our farm. So let me show you. So planting onions, it's really pretty easy. A lot of people like to make fun of my technique. My little telescoping stool here. But it makes it easy for moving around, not wearing my back and my legs out. It does take me a little bit longer to do it this way, but it's honestly not the end of the world because I really don't take that much more time and really don't have that much going on this time of season, so it's worth it. Could be out here in the sun, in the weather, and the wind. So again, this week, if the mic starts acting up because of the strong winds we're starting to get through here, I apologize in advance. But with our onions, it's pretty simple. I stopped growing from seed about 3 years ago. And that's simply because, why do it? It's a pain in the butt. I got to get everything up and active in January to start seeding these things out. So they're ready to go now, which is about mid-March for us. Then they don't size up, and they just don't work. So what I've done is started ordering onion starts. We get these through Dixondale. You can order them online. You can also find them at local greenhouses. I can actually buy them here locally, but I buy a case of them, so I really don't want to come in there and buy 16 bunches of them. They come in bunches of, I want to say 150, so we order in about 2,000 a year. So we have plenty for the farm. I'm gonna move forward real quick, and I gotta move you back a little bit. And don't forget, head over to arkenbergfarms.com, scroll down near the bottom. We've got the Market Gardening Farm School and Digital Tools and Training. This is where you can join the Market Gardening Farm School, sign up for seed time for free, request consulting, and purchase a bunch of other spreadsheets and tools for your farm. Go check it out. And don't forget to head over to our Amazon influencer store, amazon.com/shop/farmerkeith, for all the products we use on our farm that are easily available on Amazon. We have them categorized into the different categories of supplies that you will need on your farm. And these are the ones that we use and order for our farm. By purchasing through here, it helps support the content we create. Now we do quite a few variety of onions. We do about 3/4 of what we plant are your sweeter candy onions. They do not have as long of a storage life on them. They're great for selling fresh, but you can also dry them down and store them. You just gotta kind of fold the neck over while they're drying and kind of place them upside down. They just take a little bit more effort. The rest we do are storage, but we do 3 different colors. We do about 50% of all of our onions in yellow. Then we do another 25% in red, and then the last 25% in white. That seems to be a good blend for our market. Now, before I plant, I actually get out the drop fertilizer and spread roughly 200 pounds per acre equivalent, because onions are heavy feeders, on the bed before I stretch the plastic. Now, I've already done, let's see, 3 beds over here, and I'm not doing the one next to me. The reason is I forgot to put the fertilizer down. So instead of trying to drop fertilizer in each of these holes, which there's 6 bunches in each of these beds, I'm going to save it for the smaller stuff, like I'm going to plant cantaloupe in here and zucchini. So there'll be much less planting, so less to drop in the holes. Now, with this, we do 3 rows per bed, about 12 inches in between them. If you can kind of see, this side has a wider band than this side back here. And that is simply because our drip irrigation is right here in the middle, running down this whole entire bed. So we use a Two Bad Cats roller dibbler for poking all the holes, 6 inches in row all the way down. And that sharp little thing likes to poke holes in your irrigation, your drip irrigation lines that's buried underneath this. And from experience, I just moved it over and said forget about it. You can put 4 rows on these beds, but with the plastic mulch at least, it's a little tight. But you don't have to use plastic mulch. You can use landscape fabric, which I actually have for years. The hardest part is getting them back out because they're underneath the landscape fabric and they're going to get bigger in the holes. So you got to kind of like fish them underneath or occasionally cut the fabric, but I use the same thing over and over again every year. With that, I always planted them in clumps of 3 and did a wider spacing, which was 12, 3 rows, 12 and 12 this direction. But yeah, it's pretty simple, mindless task of plugging things into holes and continuing down the bed. Now the technique for planting is pretty simple. What I do is I hold the bunch in my hand with the root side up. Then as I'm picking them out, I take the little small ones or any one that has a real crooked top on it. I throw them in a bucket because I know I'm not going to need them. And I simply grab out from it 5 starts because I find that's how far I can move without having to move off my bucket, and just push it to where it contacts the soil and then just down a little bit so it stays stuck and it's pushed in the hole. Now I haven't watered these fully in yet. I do run the drip irrigation a little bit while I'm initially rolling the dibbler across here, because I find if the hose has water and you get close to it, you're not less likely to actually puncture through it, but it's still fairly dry under there. But I just repeat the process, grab 5, poke them in, and then move on down the bed. Now after these are fully planted in, I will give them a thorough watering. So I'll water them for about 20 minutes, then I'll wait a while, plant the next row, and then I'll water that one and this one 20 minutes. So I'm constantly putting about 40 minutes of drip irrigation on here. And there's only 1 drip line in here. I'm just trying to get the initial water in good, get them in place, get them stuck, get them ready to go, get them growing. After that, I'll pull the watering back quite a bit and only water as needed basically. So I really don't have to start worrying about it until it starts getting hotter and it starts drying up and they start sizing up. From there, start harvesting them once you have a bulb. Spray them off on the bottom, kind of knock the stuff off, trim the roots. We bunch them up in bunches of 3, sell them as fresh onions at the top. Then when it comes to actually harvesting, you pull them, set them on the bed for a day, take them in a shady spot, let them cure out. Same as always. So, pretty simple. Just want to kind of talk about it and let you know what we're doing on the farm. And then this happened later that evening. So, as always, hope y'all liked your saw today. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Have a good day.